last week I talked to Governor Sununu, and he's an old-fashioned politician. I backed somebody else, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley didn't get it, so I backed Trump. And among the people that can't believe that is George Stephanopoulos, who's deranged with January 6th syndrome. January 6th, bad day, we all know it. Absolutely. Nobody says it was a great day. But he acts like there's no other issue in the country. And Governor Sununu went on there and said, yeah, I thought that Donald Trump did play a role in it by giving a speech, and I thought it was a terrible day, and I don't like the way he acted after the election. But still, if you look at where the country was and where it is, I'm voting for Trump. He just can't handle this. He's done this so many times, too, on Sunday, on the few times he hosts his own show. Listen to this clash.
Will your support for Donald Trump continue even if he's convicted in Manhattan?
Yeah, this trial is not going to have major political ramifications that a lot of people, I think it may have.
I'm asking whether you're going to be swayed by it. Yeah. You're a governor. No, you're an elected official. I'm asking whether you're going to be swayed by it.
Yeah, look, nobody should be shocked that the Republican governor is supporting the Republican president. You know what the real story is? The average American that has gone from Biden back to Trump.
But he will be the president.
Right? I'm the governor of the live free or die state, bringing that mentality back.
That doesn't make any sense to me, Governor. I'm sorry. You're saying it's not about Trump. You're saying he would be the president. And you've said he's someone who's contributed to an insurrection.
I understand it doesn't make sense to you, George, but look at the polls.
And he went on to say you're in a New York bubble. You don't understand where the country is right now and where it was. And that's why we got to get these Democrats out and replace them with the people around Donald Trump. But I think he's being honest in both ways.
This is what happens when you just sit in a New York studio and you don't go out there and talk with the American people, because there's a lot of Americans that say, listen, I don't agree with the tweets. I don't agree with some things that Donald Trump has done in the past, but I still think he's the best person for the job. Life was better. The border was secure. Our enemies feared us. There's a lot of Americans, but this tells you right now, it just won't be the Democrats that do this, that it will be the media that tries to shame the American public if you decide to go for Donald Trump. It's that you can't do that. They're not asking questions. They're telling you how to vote. You cannot vote for him because he's a threat to democracy.
And it's like they never learn. It's like Lucy with the football. The media, every single time they lose their minds, they go after these things, and then they fall on their faces because nobody's buying, and they're losing their credibility every step of the way. Remarkably, still had enough credibility to, I think, influence the 2020 election. But you know, they're losing all credibility.
And Charlie, it's not as Chris Sununu says, it's not even a top 5 issue.
No.
Yeah. So you keep bringing it up, all right? So if the Republicans only brought up Afghanistan, I'd go, guys, what are you doing?
Right.
Because I wish it was a top 1 issue, but it's only one issue, and it should be a historic issue. It should be a disqualifier, but it wasn't in 2022. So you move on. Just like abortion looks like it's going to be maybe a top 3 issue instead of the top issue. You have to respond. At least ask questions about what is it about Donald Trump that is resonating with with 93% of Republicans. So you got to ask yourself, what am I missing, as opposed to how awful are those other people who don't agree with me?
That's the New York bubble. They want to focus on this one issue. They don't know what the average American's life is like, you know, where they're struggling to put food on their table because prices are expensive. Gas prices are going up again. You compare gas prices of what they are now to what they were under Donald Trump. I mean, under Donald Trump, when he left, they were, what, $2.40? And now they're creeping up again. We've seen $5 gas, more than $5 gas in various parts of the country, $7, $8 in California at some point. Yeah. So those are the issues that matter to people. When you go to a restaurant with your friends, when you talk to your family at the kitchen table, are you talking about January 6th?
No, I don't even think Democrats are. They want to jam that down. They think that Donald Trump should be disqualified already, and they can't believe he's not. And so Governor Sununu is an example of a Republican that's in. He also said, I said, do you think Nikki Haley needs to endorse him? He said, no. Nikki Haley's voters are going to vote for Donald Trump. They want no part. I was surprised to hear that.
Because they think like he does. They think like he does. If I'm a Republican, maybe I liked Nikki Haley, but if she's out, I'm going to vote for the other Republican.
Bottom line is she signed a pledge, and I think Republican voters are going to take that too lightly.
Did Hillary Clinton become Secretary of State for the guy that beat him, Barack Obama? This happens all the time. Yep. Is Marco Rubio up to be a number 2 after they argued almost or tore each other's heads off in 2016? Exactly right. That happens in politics.
Like all healthy people, voters have the ability to prioritize what's most important to them.
Right.
And what's most important to them right now are gas prices, grocery bills, things like that.
The border.
Yeah.
And what's most important to the control room?
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.